Welcome to Doing the Dang Thing podcast. I am your host, Jill Schmeeding, and this podcast is all about helping everyday women play big and aspire for more. On today's episode, I am going to be talking to you about accomplishing a goal and when is enough enough. And the reason why I bring this up, because I want you to start thinking maybe a little bit differently if you're like me, or just thinking in general about what goals you have in your life and when enough is enough. When can you honestly say, I've accomplished this goal? If it's a little bit like a gray area, and I have a perfect example for you. And the goal that I'm talking about for me is dancing. Okay. In last week's episode, I talked about, I actually said the word, which I was pissed that I recorded this, by the way, but I'm going to let it go. I was pissed at myself. I said, I am a aspiring salsa dancer or aspiring dancer or something like that, trying to be a dancer. That is a lie. I am a dancer, and I have worked hard for the last year taking lessons and going out social dancing to become a dancer. And even last week, on last week's episode, I was still believing and said to myself, I'm still aspiring to be a dancer. You know, James Clear talks about in his book, Atomic Habits, if you want to be something, start saying you are that thing. And it's something that I always remember because I'm always saying, I want to be a dancer. I want to be a dancer. And it's like, no, I am a dancer. And my goal for when I started dancing, I had a couple goals. But one of the most authentic goals that I had was I wanted to be able to go, and when I go out, I can follow and I can have a good time. And I could go travel around the world, and if there was salsa dancing happening or bachata dancing happening, I could hold my own. Now, a couple things. One, I'm supposed to be going to Puerto Rico at the end of April with a group of people, and we're going to be dancing. That will be another indication of, have I met my goal? Have I accomplished my goal? When is enough enough? Okay. I think I'm going to be good. Even if, and if you are familiar with the salsa world, you can dance on one, you can dance on two, you can then not dance on either one of those and just have fun and dance however you want to, as long as you are moving your feet back and forth and you're following the lead, right? Which is hard for me, but I kind of accomplished that last night. Went to La Rumba here in Denver with a girlfriend, had a blast. Got new leads. I never go on Saturday nights. I went out because it was her birthday and I wanted to be supportive. I had the best attitude ever. Went in there and I got some great leads. And I can tell you one thing, I followed well. And to the degree where one of the gentlemen was just like, where did you learn how to dance? And I was just like, oh, I take lessons here in Denver, And I was just like, yes. So shout out to Tom with RastaSalsa. Because I will tell you what, the lessons have paid off, and I feel so fortunate that I could get on that dance floor, I can hold my own, and I can have fun. And isn't that what it's all about? Like, isn't that what it is all about? And sometimes I question this, and I talk to my girl Heather about this all the time. This idea of like you have to be perfect. Like, so in order for me to accomplish my quote unquote, I want to be a dancer goal, I have to be perfect, or I have to get to level 3, or I have to be able to do a triple turn, or even a double turn, by the way. I don't need that. That's not what I'm looking for in my dance as a hobby, right? And I don't mean to be like fuck that, meaning like so such profanity, but I'm just tired of thinking, oh, I have to keep going, I have to keep going, I have to keep going, I have to keep going. Some people are like that, and I love it, and they become these exceptional dancers that I love to watch, but I don't need to dance with them. And as long as I go out on the dance floor and I have a good time, man, I tell you what, mission accomplished. And when I go to Puerto Rico and I dance with someone, mission accomplished. I'm traveling the world, I'm dancing. That's what I set out to do. And I hope to be able to continue that. I know it's like a hobby, so you have to like continue dancing or you may quote unquote lose it. But I also know that I gave it up for a few months during the winter when I hibernate, and I came back first night out. Boy, it was like riding a bike. You get out there, your feet do what they're supposed to do. It's like muscle memory, and it was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing. So the reason why I just wanted to come on here and have you hear that story is because I want you to think about what are the goals that you have set for your life that are maybe a little bit more gray. Obviously, it's just like, oh, you know what? It could be something like learn a new language, which, by the way, I have attempted to learn Spanish numerous times and never accomplished that goal. And last night there was a gentleman who was just like, do you know Spanish? And I said, no. And he was just like, ¿Cómo te llamas? And I was just like, muy bien. And then he was just like, no, that's my name. What is my name? And I was like, oh, yeah. Me llamo Joe. I did the best I could. We laughed about it, of course. And I was just like, it would be awesome to learn Spanish. It would be awesome to learn Spanish. And maybe that will be my next goal, right? And does it mean that I have to be a Spanish teacher knowing like an exceptional amount of Spanish? No, it means I can hold a conversation with someone and enjoy Spanish music, because I listen to a lot of music that is in Spanish, and I would love to understand what the language or what the words mean, right? So that could be my next goal. What goals do you have out there that are a little bit in the gray area that you won't allow yourself to say, I think I've accomplished my goal? And then you move on to something else, right? Are you continually pushing yourself to say, oh no, I have to be this in order for my goal to be accomplished? Even though you've actually accomplished your goal. And I'm not saying that I want to give up on dance or give up on anything else that I have going on in my life because I've quote unquote accomplished my goal. I'm going to celebrate that. I'm going to celebrate that. And I have a couple episodes that I've already recorded. I have a couple episodes that I've already recorded about this. Celebrating the small wins was one in the past. I can put it in the show notes if you want to listen to it. I forgot the number. But that was a really popular episode, celebrating the small wins. This is not a small win, though. This is not a small win. This is a huge win. This is a big goal for me, and I'm going to celebrate it. And I'm going to stop saying that I am an aspiring dancer. I am a dancer. And I can go out there and I can make mistakes. I can follow. I can have a blast. A couple of the wins that I would say, these are like a little bit smaller wins, but it's just like, I'm finally smiling while I dance. This is huge. I used to look really nervous and really scared when I danced, and now I'm finally smiling. That is a win, right? I'm finally feeling the music a little bit more. Do I have the syncopation? Do I have my feet or my arms or my shoulders or my hands or my hips can make every single beat pronounced? No. Was that my goal? No. And will I get better if I continue at it? Absolutely. But that was not my goal. And so I'm just like, Jill, let that go. Go out there and have fun. Put a smile on your face. Enjoy the hour or two that you dance. Call it a night. Go home. Get a good night of sleep. And just say, yes, that was amazing. That was amazing, right? And move on to the next night. I just want to put it out there because we all have goals, and mine has just so happened to be dance, and I just happened to have a great night last night, so I'm super hyped this morning, and I wanted to share this story. But for you, what in your life is coming up right now where you're like, oh, I keep pushing myself, I keep pushing myself to go further because I'm not enough quite yet. I'm not enough to do this, to call myself this. Is it being a writer? Like, do you write and you don't want to call yourself a writer because you haven't published a book yet? Just think about the goals that you have in your life. Think about the goals that you're trying to accomplish that maybe it's just a little bit gray, right? It's all good to push. But definitely when you have a goal, remember, what was my goal? What was my original goal? Did I accomplish it? Celebrate that win some way, shape, or form. Come to one of my Women with Wins party here in the Denver area. let's celebrate together so that you can remember, yeah, this is what I'm doing. This is good. This is really, really good. And then set a new goal and work towards that new goal, right? But don't forget to celebrate the goals that you have accomplished. Anyways, I hope you have a great rest of your week whenever you listen to this. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And don't forget, if you like this podcast and something is meaningful to you or inspiring to you, please don't forget to leave a review, whether that be on Apple where you write it out, because I love reading those, or you just put on the 5 stars on Spotify or Stitcher, however that works. Wherever you listen to podcasts, I would love to hear from you. Please let me know you're out there. Please let me know you love this podcast. Yeah, and I look forward to talking to you again. Take care, everyone.